involved a ceasefire without acknowledging the Russian seizure of the territory that they've already gained in Ukraine, but continuing to supply arms and support to the Ukrainians under sort of a lend-lease arrangement, approaching the conflict from that perspective. One thing I keep in mind, I know there's lots of speculation about what President Trump would do. He doesn't like to lose. And if he's perceived as the person who lost Ukraine, that would not be good for him either. He was asked in the debate in June with Biden, I think essentially, do you want to see Putin win in Ukraine or gain or defeat Ukraine? And he answered without hesitation, no. The question is how he's going to go about doing it, using our allies, I hope. And again, I think this op-ed by former Secretary Pompeo may be a positive signal of how the new administration, if Trump's elected, might approach it.
Well, as you can see, the polls as well, and the energy in the Democratic side since Kamala Harris has taken the nomination, and you probably are reading how NATO and other allies in the transatlantic alliance are reacting. They seem to be a little bit more reassured that at least she's solid on NATO, she's a solid, Atlanticist, transatlanticist, but they're also concerned that the U.S. will move its gaze from NATO, or rather from Russia and Ukraine and Europe, and keep the gaze on the Indo-Pacific. What do you think, in a Harris administration, will the Russia-Ukraine thing still be number one?
So I've seen this now in several administrations over time that have come into office and seeking to pivot to Asia and describing our relationship with the PRC as the key determinative relationship that we have in international affairs, our chief strategic competitor. And every time the administration, whether it's the Obama administration or the Trump administration, it's been the Russians and President Putin who have upset that calculation. So Putin is going to get a vote in this, and this war, his war in Ukraine, is going to continue. So my expectation is this will have to be, no matter what the policy instincts are of a new administration, whether it's Trump or Harris, the Ukraine war is going to have to be a priority for the new administration, no matter who's president, because Putin won't allow it to slip off the agenda.
Do you support Trump, and you're supporting him for president?
I haven't taken a position. I'm a lifelong Republican. Republicans and Democrats both buy books. So I'm promoting my book, as Michael Jordan once said about selling sneakers. I'm a lifelong Republican and expect that my lifelong tendency will continue.
Okay. So yes, you support him and you'll vote for him. I think that's what you're saying. I want to ask you about prisoner exchanges, because you met with one of the American prisoners there, Paul Whelan, when he was in detention. President Trump, former president, has come out and congratulated Putin on making another quote-unquote great deal. I want to just play this soundbite from Trump.
I'd like to congratulate Vladimir Putin for having made yet another great deal. Did you see the deal we made? Now look, we want to get people in. We got 59 hostages. I never paid anything. They released some of the greatest killers anywhere in the world. Some of the most evil killers they got, and we got our people back. But boy, we make some horrible, horrible deals, and it's nice to say we got them back. But does that set a bad precedent?
Well, a couple of things there. The U.S. didn't pay anything in this round. And of course, as we know, Trump did get into all sorts of negotiations and